What's up YouTube? What's up guys? Welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm back here at Bose Volkswagen in Bradenton, Florida, and I'm here with this 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Now this is the entry-level model, and I picked that because of your comments, so thank you for commenting on my videos. Basically you said, Matt, you're always reviewing vehicles that have tons of equipment of it. What do you get for the base price? So here it is. This is a base Cross Sport S, and you'll get all that we're going to be talking about in this video for $32,000. So the question is it a good SUV for $32,000? That's what we're about to find out in this video. Well, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt Samolski. I'm Matt the Car Guy. On this channel I do car reviews. So if this is your first visit, welcome. Thank you very much for watching. Consider checking out the rest of the channel. Hit the subscribe button, become part of Matt the Car Guy family. I'll post twice a week, and I hope to see you in my next video. So let's get back to this Cross Sport. Well, so based on the boxy Atlas Cross Sport has exactly the same front. It's almost identical. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you were just looking at it from this angle. The differences come on the side. But let's check out the front. Nice long hood. This is massive. It's probably one of the largest sport utilities in its class that I've seen. And it's got this huge grille. Now you can see those three distinct chrome lines going across the grille. You see that all across all of the trim levels and the Crosstrek, or on the Atlas for that matter. It does have standard, even on the base version like this, LED headlights and LED daytime running lights, those two LED daytime running lights. The one that is not LED is the turn signal. Not a big deal. At the bottom of here, now this is the base version, a little bit of matte gray, a little bit of that kind of simulated polished aluminum trim, but it goes for a nice, clean, stylish design of it. Fake vents right here. Actually, this one is open, so it goes into the wheel well. It does have this big Volkswagen logo on it. It does have some safety equipment, doesn't have all of it. You'd have to upgrade to the premium versions of it. Well, before we go to the side and see some major differences on it, let's pop the hood and let's see what powers up this thing. All right, so let's take a look at the engine, if we can find it in this massive engine compartment right here. All right, so what do we have underneath here? Two engine options available. The base one, which is this one, 2.0 liter engine, turbocharged, about 235 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you opt in for the 3.6 liter engine, it's going to add up to about 276 horsepower, and it's going to add some torque to it, but not a lot. But those are the two engine options that are available on this. Both made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. What I want to point out in here, first of all, the size of this hood compartment. That can easily fit a bigger engine, and there may be a reason. This is my speculation, may be a reason for it, and I'll talk to you about it in just a little bit. And the second thing about this engine compartment, Volkswagen proves that it is possible to put a hood strut in even the base model of their Atlas. It's nice, it's out of the way, it holds the hood up, and it's awesome. Insulation for the sound barrier, that's pretty cool too. And let's check out the side of it. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the side of this vehicle. And as you can see, it's not as boxy as the regular Atlas because it's got this sloped back of it. But when you look at this vehicle, what do you see? Now if you're a car person, or if you follow any of the cars, you might be able to see maybe some similarities to the Audi Q8, or maybe even, like if you like really squint your eyes, Lamborghini Urus. Is that what this might be? I'm not sure if this is the same platform. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the same configuration as far as the underbody of this vehicle. For sure it's not the same engine equipment or anything like this. But is it possible that it's built off of the same platform? I'm not a Volkswagen person. I don't know much about it, so I'm going to ask you that. If you know, please put it in the comment section below. It's going to help all the viewers out. Now we're going to take a look at this base Atlas S right here. So nothing really too crazy going on the side. Now you see those distinct body lines, which is pretty cool. It goes all around the wheel well, and then it continues with this little cross sport chrome trim, continues throughout the rest of the vehicle. Okay, the black cladding around the wheel is so popular among manufacturers right now. Pretty much everybody has it. Base wheels, this is what you get without upgrading. 18-inch wheels. Okay, as far as the size of the tires, now we have the 245 60 18. This is the size of the tires. Pretty meaty. I don't know how they handle on the road. We're going to check that out. Okay, pretty decent visibility, as you can see in here. And well, you know, my concern with all of those kind of the sloped backs of the vehicle, that there is going to be a lot of blind spot in here, so we're going to check that out while driving. But other than that, it's pretty cool design on the outside. Now this is a base model too. On the mirror, white caps, but what I want to point out, it does have the blind spot assist that comes standard with it. Like I said, not all the safety feature comes standard on the base one, but this one does. It does have a keyless entry system. Now this vehicle has a actual key, so it's not a proximity key, so you'd actually have to push the button to get in. Not too much chrome. The only chrome piece is at the bottom in here, and everything else is kind of blacked out. Again, standard on these are well, this is the roof rails, not the crossbars, but that's standard. You can upgrade it with the crossbars to make it functional. Well, let's move to the back and see how that sporty back looks like on it. Well, all right, so you can see it's got the slope back. That's the Sport Cross Sport, right? That's not the regular boxy Atlas, so it might have a little bit less room in the back, but it doesn't have a third row seat. So, I mean, if you don't really need a third row seat, you might actually just have enough room in this vehicle, because it probably is the biggest one in its class. The size-wise, looking of it on the outside, it certainly feels like and looks like it. Now, what do we get here? We have full LED lights, full LED on the base model right here. This is a big plus too. Some of the reflector lights. The one thing that I don't understand is these totally fake exhaust. Now this is not even where the exhausts are, and they're hidden somewhere underneath this bumper in here. So kind of a matte gray bumper all the way in here. Okay, no tow package on this one. I'm sure you can get it as an option, but doesn't come standard. Okay, it does have this reflector light that goes all the way across the entire back of this vehicle. It does have this chrome trim piece that's along all the models that the Atlas has. Doesn't matter if it's the S, SE, SEL, anything like this. Volkswagen logo, windshield wiper, sloped windshield window right there. Let's open it up. Oh, I forgot, this is the base version, so you actually have to open it up yourself. But you know, once you push it up a little bit, it goes up with those hydraulic struts for the back, so that's not bad at all. It doesn't have there's a space for the button that you'll get on the higher trim levels, that you'll get those power gate, but not on this one. What do we have in here? Let me grab the camera, I'll show it to you. Okay, so I gotta tell you, I mean, this definitely beats the competition as far as the width. Okay, I don't know the exact dimensions, you know, you can look it up online, but it's certainly bigger than the Honda Passport, let's say, that it's competing against. It certainly has got so much room in the back, and it's a 2-row, so tons of room in the back here. The seats fold down, as you can see, 60/40. What do we have underneath here? Okay, we do have a spare tire, base spare tire, okay, and this is looks like a temporary use spare tire, and then you have all the tools to remove it with. Now this is the only really like a option of it, alongside with the all-season mats on this vehicle. Everything else comes standard from the factory. 12-volt outlet right on this side here. Okay, there's no seat releases in here, but let me just set this camera right here and see how much room it is if I fold down those 2 seats in the back. Okay, keep on watching. Fairly simple, and look how much room you have. Tons of room. Now it does slope down a little bit towards here, towards the end, but there's still plenty of room to put, well, even help you move, to be honest with you. Tons. All right, well, before we get to the front and see all the cool stuff in here, let's check out the roominess right here in the back seat. Well, so as I expected, there should be no reason why anybody would feel cramped in this Atlas Cross Sport. Now, plenty of room for me in front of my knees. I have this set up exactly like the driver's seat, and the driver's seat is in my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall. I have several inches above my head. I have a nice shoulder room. Seats are not super comfortable. I mean, they're fabric and they're kind of stiff, to be honest with you, but not too bad. The rest of the interior, well, you know, it's a base vehicle, so there's really no thrills, but let's check it out together. All right, so first of all, I mean, look at the seats. I mean, the idea of it is pretty cool. I mean, it's actually a decent design. You have a little bit of different textures on here, a little bit of a diamond stitch in here, but they're really not super comfortable in here. And it looks like there's a lot of plastic all around this vehicle, a lot of hard plastic in here. You do have some vents in the middle console in here. You do have the 12-volt power adapter in here, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing crazy in here. On the door itself, you do have this vinyl, it's not leather, it's probably vinyl or leather wrapped armrest. Okay, this is all hard plastic though, okay, so there's a lot of plastic going on the door, and just basic equipment. You have a speaker in here, door handle, window controls, a little bit of a storage underneath. That's it. Well, let's jump in front and see what do you get for 32 grand in the driver's seat. All right, let's walk up on this, and first of all, check how the door sounds. Okay, and sounds pretty good. Now I gotta tell you, even though this is a keyed entry for the vehicle, it doesn't have an exposed keyhole. You actually would have to remove this portion of it in order to unlock it in case your batteries die out, just in case you're wondering. Okay, not bad of a door thump in here. Now the front door might add a little bit of, you know, bling in here, not really, but it does have this kind of simulated aluminum trim. The rest of it is identical to the rear door. Lots of plastic, basic controls, mirror window controls. You do have this, so typical for Volkswagen, they still have this little LED when the vehicle is locked, so that indicates that the alarm is on. All right, so you have your light controls in here, and even with the base model, you don't get the automatic driver or passenger seat, and this is basically how the interior looks from here. Well, let's jump in and let's see how the rest of it looks. All right, so before we melt, let's start this vehicle up. Now, like I said, it is a regular key, so this is the Volkswagen flip key. You know, it does have the remote attached to it. Lock, unlock, panic button. I like the panic button. It looks like, you know, it's gonna scare somebody away. Look at this little guy just basically pacing away from here. It does have the trunk opener. Now this is just to unlock the trunk, okay? And what you do with this key for the new generation ones, that not all cars are push button. You actually put it in the ignition and then you turn it until the vehicle starts. Okay, and turn off the radio in here. So what do we have here? We do have the multifunction steering wheel. Okay, it actually feels good to the touch. Nothing crazy about it, no thrills. Again, Volkswagen logo. On this side, you control basically your cruise control. In here, you have your volume button. This is basically your search buttons. And then there's a few menu items, I believe, that we can control in the instrument cluster. So when we look at the instrument cluster, again, this is the base instrument cluster, but you know, it's got everything that you'll need on the vehicle. I don't really, you know, mind it at all. You have the tachometer on the left-hand side, speedometer on the right-hand side. You do have your temperature gauges, you do have your trip, you do have your miles. Okay, you do have your fuel level in here, and then you have infotainment system is switched off, and this is the only like a digital screen in between. So let's see if we can see something in here. Telephone, vehicle status. Okay, we'll see here start stop system is available. I'm not sure what that means. Driving data, that's basically your trip. You have we have 70 miles range. I'm actually surprised. Most of the dealers give me like 5 miles. Anyway, side assist, rear assist. So side assist, okay, I'm not sure what that is. Well, let's see, rear assist, front assist, and this goes for assist system. Okay, audio, phone, and then again back to the vehicle status. So just the basic information in here. All right, let's move out of here. Take a look at the dashboard. Dashboard, actually this is more of a soft plastic, kind of a vinyl cover, so this is not bad. It does have a little shelf right on top of here, so if you want to put your cell phone in here or anything like this, probably don't want to do it in the summertime. And you know, you do have this trim that kind of continues on the door in between here, just to kind of brighten it up, because on this black interior is really black. Okay, and you know, this one kind of breaks it up a little bit. Now this is a basic 6-inch screen. Okay, again, you have to go to the higher end version to get something more fancy in here. You know, if you have it turned off, like right now it's set for the clock. Okay, so it does have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and MirrorLink. Basically, they're not wireless, they're wired. And I brought my phone and basically the cable to see if I can connect it for you. Okay, never done it before. USB cable, okay, to the USB port. And you know what? If you have this one, you're kind of out of luck, because all they have is the USB-C and the USB-C. Okay, so actually, you know, everything is going in that direction, so I'm not going to ding it for it, but I don't have that cable, so I'm not going to be able to connect it. All right, as far as the menu, you have radio, telephone, vehicle, settings, media, app connect, sound, legal notices. All right, so radio, obviously, telephone, it's obvious, you know, it connected really quickly through the Bluetooth. Vehicle, let's see what we have. Basically, status, okay, drive safety, it looks like, hey, everything is checked. Consumers, energy consumers, economy, climate control, basically that's the biggest offender right here. There's settings, tires, lights, assistance system. Let's see what they have. Front assist, autonomous emergency braking, lane change assist, side assist. That's basically standard on this vehicle, so that's pretty cool. Do we have a back button? Yes, there is one right here. It's a touchscreen though, by the way, so that's pretty cool. And go back to settings, lights, parking and maneuvering, rear traffic alert, active, time and date, unit service, factory settings. So that's just basic features that you can control through here. Now the display itself, it's tiny, it's a little bit bigger than your phone, but you know, base is all you need, you know, that's what you get in here. Radio, it sounds okay. You know, nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just a regular stereo system in here. Bottom of here, you do have the manual climate control. It's not automatic, it's not electronic. Temperature settings, fan settings, and the different vent settings right here. That's basically all you have. You do have the auto start stop button, okay, just kind of cool. You do have it even with the keyed ignition. You do have your hazards on. And this is basically just the shortcuts for some of the climate control. Like I mentioned before, the bottom here you have the regular outlet as well as 2 USB-Cs. Okay, gear shifter. Again, nothing too crazy about it. All right, once we put it in reverse, let's check out the rear view camera. And it's there. It's okay. It's going to help you in the situations when you need to get this vehicle out and moving. And then you have different settings in here, so you can actually adjust it if you don't like the color, brightness, or contrast in here. Okay, maybe make it a little bit brighter. Does it change anything? Just a little bit. All right, so trajectory lines, they're stationary, they're not moving, so once you start moving, you just got to be careful. Okay, but it is there. Okay, it does have the rear cross traffic alert system, which is, you know, a plus too, so that's a safer vehicle. And then back to the shifter right here, you also have your manual shifting, okay, which you switch this gear shifter to the right, and then you can control it, you know, down and up for your gears in here. Okay, let's put it back in park and move on. You can see that some of the higher end models have some buttons in here and possibly another controller for the infotainment system. I haven't checked them out yet, so I mean, this is news to me, but there's a lot of blank space. Electronic parking brake, big cup holders, it's huge storage compartment. I wonder how deep it is. Darn, this is pretty big. You can put like full-size person here almost. And then another thing that you have is also your glove box. Okay, pretty deep, pretty nice size. All right. Compass built in the mirror. Again, this is a standard feature, home link system. You do have your light controls in here, and then you do have your SOS button, or mechanical or info button. What's the info button though? Info call, sending data.
Connection is being established. To cancel the call.
Okay, well, we're not gonna send any data over. I refuse. All right, and this concludes the interior portion of this vehicle, and we're gonna take it for a spin. See how this base model handles. All right, guys, well, let's start with the pricing on it. We've already done the interior and the exterior pricing. Starting on the S, it's $30,855 for basically this plus destination. This one's just over $32,000. I'll post it in the description of this video. Okay, now the SE starts at $34,205. You get the climate running dual zone automatic climate control. You have the app connect with wireless capability. Now this one, as you've seen, is the wired one. SE with technology, you do get the remote start, you get the park distance control, and basically the 20-inch alloy wheels. SE with technology R-Line, this is the more sporty one. Then you have the R-Line bumpers and badging, park distance control, 20-inch alloy wheels. SEL, 41,625, and that will get you standard 4Motion all-wheel drive, Volkswagen digital cockpit, which we don't have in here, panoramic sunroof. Okay, then SEL R-Line, basically a sporty SEL, 21-inch 2-ton machined alloy wheels, Volkswagen digital cockpit, and the R-Line design. SEL Premium, it's at 46,525. You have the overhead view camera, leather seating surfaces, that's a standard equipment. And then you have the top of the line, which is the SEL Premium R-Line, starting at $50,025. So, you do have the Fender premium audio system. Fender, not like the Fender, but like the guitar, like the audio system Fender. Overhead view camera, 21-inch wheels. Okay, that's what you get for $50,000+. Now, 30 to 50 is a big spread, you might say. Yes, that is. Depends what you're looking for. When I was in the car business, I had a customer, and he was always coming back to me for a basic cars. And I remember when they started making Civic standard with power windows. And he goes like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I go like, what do you mean? He goes like, the more stuff there is on the car, the more chances of it's gonna break. So that was his thinking about it. If you need something for space and basically right around town, but you don't need the leather, you don't need all the thrills of the newest, greatest, latest, biggest SUV, this might just fit what you're looking for. Now let's take it for a spin and see how this 2-liter engine is going to power up this quite massive SUV. I've already checked out the rear view camera, so we're not going to do it again, but I will kind of do a circle in here, flip it around, and see how this vehicle turns, see how tight the turning radius is, because that's important when getting into, this is essentially a mid-size SUV. This is the size of the Honda Pilot, 196 inches long, Toyota Highlander, that type of stuff, maybe Hyundai Palisade. So this is about the same platform. It feels wider to me, and it feels like there's more room on the interior of this cabin. But all right, steering wheel all the way. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and just over 4.5 parking spaces. I mean, that's my archaic way of measuring the tightness of the turning, and that is basically in line with all of the competition that I have seen. We'll take it on the road really quick. We're gonna check out an acceleration, and we're gonna sum it up. One thing that I gotta tell you is, okay, we have a clear shot, so let's see how this. Well, I gotta tell you, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I honestly had my doubts about the capability of this 2.0-liter engine. And I'm very pleasantly surprised that this large SUV is being propelled by this 2-liter turbo engine 235 horsepower, and it's actually capable of accelerating quite nicely. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not fast. Okay? It's not fast at all. As a matter of fact, 0 to 60 is probably 7.6 seconds, something like this. Maybe closer to 8, so it's even less than like my Honda Pilot. But that's not why you're buying an SUV. You do want to make sure, though, however, that it is safe to merge and it's capable to merge into traffic. And that's why we're checking out this basically acceleration portion of any of the vehicles that I do that are not sporty. Okay, plus, you know, kind of like it too. Okay, so what I like about this car, I like the roominess. I even like the design from the outside. I mean, it looks pretty modern, it looks pretty stylish, it looks pretty sporty. Definitely the roominess, like I mentioned before. I like the drive on it. I mean, with the acceleration, you're not going to beat any records, but it definitely is capable of performing. I like how quiet it is in there. I've read some reviews of it. People were kind of not very impressed with as it drives. To me, it's the opposite. I think that you should drive it for yourself and see before, you know, listening to somebody's reviews. I think it drives pretty darn good. What I don't like, and maybe I'm spoiled, but I don't like the interior of it. I mean, I don't like a lot of this hard plastic on this vehicle. I'm used to having probably a little bit more sophisticated trims, more luxurious trims with maybe electronic climate control, the bigger screen, navigation standard, you know, the yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards. I'm probably spoiled with that. But if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for a basic sport utility, definitely don't skip this. Check this one out. Definitely a nice one. Okay, one other thing is the seats. When I was sitting in the back seat, it didn't feel very comfortable. It's not the case with the driver's seat. I can definitely see myself going on a longer trip and not getting tired of it, so that's a plus in my book. The fabric looks pretty durable. It's decent design. I mean, nothing crazy to it, so we'll give this vehicle thumbs up. I think if you're looking for something like this, definitely check it out. I will try to come back to Boast Volkswagen in a couple of weeks if they do have the SEL Premium with our line. That would be the next vehicle that I would love to test drive, just to see of how different it is with all of the amenities in it, with all of the bells and whistles. And you know, what do you get for that extra $30,000 or $20,000? And is it worth it? So if you like watching videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel to check out some of the other vehicles that I have. I have them coming too. There's over 100 vehicles that I've reviewed. Check them out. Hit subscribe, means a world to me, and it doesn't cost you a penny, so I really appreciate if you do. Also, smash that like button. It helps with the algorithm, helps with many more people watching these videos. All right, guys, I appreciate everything you do for me, and I'll try to do more for you, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.